Yo, hey, what's up, you guys? Johnny Beane here. This is exclusively Van Halen, the Van Halen Show on YouTube. You guys, look at that. We're on YouTube. We're also on Spotify. If this is your first time here, consider subscribing to the channel. Our next goal is 13,500 here on the Johnny Beane YouTube station. And quick reminder, tomorrow night, Friday, we have a video drop-in for you guys. We have a video premiere, the Van Halen Kramer few knew about. This is a three-part series. A guitar that Edward did play at 5150. Most Van Halen nerds don't know about this guitar. We do. We have it. And it's pretty cool. So tune in tomorrow, Friday, for this show. Yeah. So let's do it. Speaking of shows, well, hey, another quick reminder, you guys. Yesterday, we talked about the Balance Expanded Edition. Very cool release of the album Balance. Check out that video. And so let's do a show right here on what channel is this? Michael Anthony.
Hey! This is Michael Anthony right here, and you are watching exclusively Van Halen on the Johnny Beane TV. Keep it there. Woo! See ya!
Thank you so much, you guys. Hey, Johnny Beane here, exclusively Van Halen, the Van Halen Show on YouTube. We're on Facebook, we're on X, we're on Twitch, we're pretty much everywhere there is. I mean, wherever you go for your internet, we're pretty much there. Exclamation point S in the chat will give you all the social media links. By the way, you see somebody in the chat called Nightbot. That is me. You can trust the links that Nightbot is giving you. Like right there, Nightbot is saying you can follow me. Follow all my social media links, johnnybeane.link. Let's get 200 thumbs ups on this video. Yeah, smash that thumbs up. If you're enjoying this content, consider subscribing. Turn on the notification bell so you know when we go live, because I'm in a brand new studio now. You guys, I'm seeing some names in here I haven't seen in a while. Richard Poole, dude, I haven't seen you in here for like years. Good to see you. It's probably because I'm doing an earlier show, right? It's only 9:30 in the morning out here in California, so that's kind of part what I'm about to say. I'm in a brand new studio now. I've got a guitar workbench. Look at that. I've got a product I need to do a demo for right there. Janice, send me a reminder on X that I need to do a product demo. That's it right there. Okay, so we have new studio, we got guitars, all that stuff, and so we're able to do shows now anytime, basically, day or night, whatever. So we do a lot of pop-up shows now. We still do the regularly scheduled stuff. Like last night we did Talking Guitars, where we talked about, well, you know, guitars. Did some music news. Although the thing is, you know, after we do these shows, I have no memory of the show, so I have no idea what we talked about last night. But I think it was pretty good. So hey, let's make this a real show before we get to the topic. And let's see. Laz is texting me. Hey, thumbnail ready for tonight. What do you think? Should we show this? I don't think Laz knows that we're live. Thank you, Janice. I just got your X. Is Laz watching this? What did he send me? Let's see. Do you guys want a sneak preview of the Music Therapy Laz show tonight? Well, he hasn't sent it yet. Yes. All right. Let me get... While we're waiting for that, let's give you guys the top tier channel members on the Johnny Beane YouTube channel because we have channel membership. If you'd like to help support this channel and support these shows, that's the wrong card. Well, you can help by following us everywhere. That's one thing. Channel membership's a way you can help support the channel and support these shows. And you guys, we're not begging. We're just asking. But hey, the top tier channel members are the executive producers, and they are currently Music Therapy Laz, Michael B. Thank you again so much, Michael B, for the super chat last night. Majestic PB and J Cat, Flipper Carlin, CC, Bay Area Rich. Thank you for all your support, man. Sherman Callahan, Nova 9, R Habs, and Janice Lala, the intern. Did you get my message on the Discord? No, I didn't. We'll have to look into that. We'll have to check that out. We're getting messages. We get messages nonstop on here, so that's good. Okay, what's in the box? What's Laz, are you watching? I don't think he's watching, so I don't think he knows. What's in the box? Huh? Well, if you get, well, okay. We'll see what happens tonight. All right. Let's say hello to some people here, and then we've got some music news for you guys. Janice is saying, did you get your message? No, I didn't. Send it again, if you could. Jeff David said, I'm going to see the Gene Simmons band tonight. Hey, right on, dude. That looks cool. Well, hey, speaking of Discord, let's go over there because somebody made up a meme the other day, which is kind of funny. If I can find it. There it is, right there. Max sent this in, and it kind of relates to what you're saying, Jeff Davidson. Look at that. Was Gene Simmons here? I mean, he may have been. I don't know. But Jeff Davidson, congratulations, man. That sounds cool. I wish I was going to that. It actually looks like a pretty good show. I was watching some of it on YouTube. They were playing somewhere. And I noticed that, no spoilers. If you're going to see them tonight, I don't want to spoil anything. But very cool show. So let's see. The message is in Discord DM. Okay. Let's check that out. And then we got to get to some music news here. All right, Janice, where did you send that? Right here. Right here. Here is the attack pick that I have that's supposed to make the 6-string sound like a 12-string, but it all... That's cool! Here, I just waved. Very cool, Janice. Actually, Bay Area Rich is sending me some of those. So I'll be doing a demo. Looking forward to trying them. Very interesting. A guitar pick where you play a 6-string, but it makes it sound like you're playing a 12-string. That's interesting. That sounds cool. So we'll be trying that probably next week. But let's do this, you guys. We got some music news here. Let's go over to Guitar Player. Very cool. When I first heard Van Halen's version of You Really Got Me, I laughed. It really misses the point of the whole meaning of the song. Dave Davies on Eddie Van Halen, Jimmy Page, and the Kinks' Power Revolution. Mic check 1 2. Lawrence is saying. Mic check 1 2. We sound good, thankfully. Let's see here. Can we scroll? Yeah. This is written up by Christopher Scapelli. Contributions by Matt Resnikoff. This was published yesterday. Awesome dudes. Davy's influences are scattered far and wide, but he hasn't always appreciated how musicians have responded to the Kinks' music. There's a photo right there. The Kinks. Looks like they're in the studio or recording or something. That's pretty cool. Try to get these ads out of here. As the Kinks, rhythm and lead guitarist Dave Davies inspired a generation of players with his innovative combination of power chords and distortion. Pete Townsend often cited the Kinks as a major influence. Must have been for smashing his guitars, maybe, and blowing up their drum sets. The Kinks are from the 60s. That's right, Lawrence. Oh, Lawrence, you're over on Twitch. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, I see in the chat the little Twitch logo. Right on, man. Thank you so much. By the way, yeah, you guys, if you like I say, you want to help support the channel, support these shows, I mean, you can help, there's a PayPal QR code right there, all that. But jump over to each platform. Say if we're live on YouTube, which we are, say hi in the YouTube chat. Drop a comment. Smash the thumbs up. If we're on X, which we are, jump over to X. Say hi over there. If we're on Twitch, jump over there. Say hi. It is the same stream, but it does help out each platform. So, and we do appreciate that. So Pete Townsend often cited the Kinks as a major influence and was motivated particularly by Davies' aggressive rhythm playing and distorted tone. The Who guitarist admitted that "You Really Got Me" inspired him to write "I Can't Explain" in a similar style. Meanwhile, Jimmy Page, Jeff Beck, and Eric Clapton all took note of Davies' use of distortion, which was far more aggressive than what anyone had been doing in rock. That's cool, man. The Davies influence wasn't limited to guitarists of rock's 60s wave. Black Sabbath's Tony Iommi cited him as an early influence on the heavy, down-tuned riffs that defined Sabbath's sound, and acknowledged the importance of the Kinks in creating the blueprint for heavy guitar riffing. The Kinks even inspired Al Di Meola to write a jazz fusion classic. Now that is cool. That is really cool, man. And that tells you right there what I tell you guys all the time. Influences spread, and you can like one thing, take it, different genre, create a totally new thing out of it. I mean, when you think Al Di Meola, well, is Rich here? Rich, are you here? Yeah, it says you're here. Thursday morning greetings. Rich, I know you love Al Di Meola. I know you met him and everything. Like, when you compare Al Di Meola to, well, not compare, but say, can you hear like the Kinks or Black Sabbath when you listen to Al Di Meola? He says he does. Right on, man. There you go, dude. Not that it's saying that the Al Di Meola inspired the Kinks. It says the Kinks inspired Al Di Meola. So that's cool. That's cool, dude. Very good. We may also like the interview that ended Eddie Van Halen and Eric Clapton's friendship. We may need to read that. Maybe we'll click on that one after this. We'll do 2 stories here today. He's a shredder, Bay Area Rich says. Al Di Meola. And then there's Eddie Van Halen, who was a fan of the group's straightforward but powerful approach to rock. Van Halen famously covered 2 songs by the Kinks: "You Really Got Me," the hard rockers' hit 1978 debut single, and "Where Have All the Good Times Gone," which appeared on their 1982 album Diver Down. To be clear, Davies appreciates that he and his brother Ray had an impact on rock and particularly rock guitarists. It's always very flattering for people to copy you, except when you're a YouTube talk show host. Then it's just cheap. But it's only music. It's only rock and roll, you guys, right? It is an important vehicle. But we shouldn't take it too seriously, Davies told Guitar Player in March of 1990. We've been copied more than a lot of people would care to admit. Ray's music has impressed upon and influenced a lot of people in many different ways, but that's good. But with that said, Davies wasn't much of a fan of Van Halen's take on the Kinks' classic. Oh no. That's a cool shot. That's Dave Davies right there. When I first heard Van Halen's version of You Really Got Me, I laughed. It just seemed so exaggerated. It really misses the point of the whole meaning of the song. Four working class guys struggling to do something different. In the original record, you can sense that in its energy, its roughness, it's very impure. The Van Halen thing, it's very accomplished and flashy. But what does it mean? Whereas when the Stranglers did All Day and All Night and All of the Night, I thought it was much respectful because they actually tried to get a similar snare drum sound and guitar sound, which I thought was strange. I can't imagine anybody wanting to do it that way. He laughed, but at least it seemed more respectful to the original concept and feeling. Even the solo was like the original solo, which I thought was really nice and sweet. Okay, there's the Strangers, All Day and All of the Night. I'm gonna have to watch that. I'm gonna have to check that one out. Hey, B9, what's up, dude? You met Dave Davies and the whole band in the mid-90s? That's cool, dude. In the same interview, Davies also addressed claims that Jimmy Page had played the electric guitar solos on those early Kinks sides, I guess B-sides, or singles. Davies, who said he was all of 16 when he cut those solos in spring of 1963, blamed Page's claim on a penchant for myth building. I think that's how you say that. You see, Jimmy Page was a friend of producer Shel Talmies, and was a session player who used to hang around and hope that he could get in on sessions, he said, and we locked him out. This is a podcast, and so you got to make like weird noises in the background. But he learned a lot, you know, like the many other people who wouldn't admit borrowing from the Kinks. And I suppose when he became successful himself, all credit due to him, his ego was so he probably thought he invented the bloody instrument anyway, being carried along on that crystal and glamour. Is that true? It's all an illusion, building your ego up, and eventually something's going to pop it like a balloon, and you're back flat down on your ass again, which is what happened, didn't it? And I suppose it was a bit unfortunate of him. I thought he did me a great injustice by saying that. Besides, I can't see anybody crazy enough to play a solo like the one on You Really Got Me. I mean, you guys have all heard this, right? The Kinks Really Got Me, the original version. The Kinks are set to release the final part of their 60th anniversary anthology series on July 11th. The Journey Part 3 covers their RCA Arista period, spanning from 1977 to 1984, during which the band finally broke in America with hits like Come Dancing and Do It Again. That's pretty cool. Very cool. What's this other story? Let's see. Let's click on that other one. Let's see if that's... Janice says, of course I heard it. Of course you did. Did I read this story already? When was it? This other story is actually from June 14th, 2025. Oh, that's... Wait, that's only like a week ago. Okay, I didn't read this one. Oh, that's with my cousin Jazz. All right, let's read this one too. Cool. So hey, you guys will get 2 stories today. So smash that thumbs up. How many thumbs ups? I see 4 thumbs ups. We got how many people we have watching? We got like 20 people watching right now. Smash that thumbs up. Smash that subscribe if you'd like to help us get to our next goal of 13,500, I think it is. YouTube subscribers. We do talk shows, we do guitar shows, we do interviews. We work on guitars. I have a guitar workbench over there. It's kind of a mess at the moment, but yeah, let's check this out. Let's read, let's do a little more reading. Okay, guitar player. If he was that tuned into me and missed that point, then he missed the whole point. Eric Clapton on the one thing Eddie Van Halen didn't understand about playing the blues. Hey, Lewis, what's up, dude? History says Clapton insulted Van Halen. Taken within context, his comments were part of a wider discussion about understanding the blues. There's Edward Van Halen and Eric Clapton. The old adage goes that you should never meet your heroes. Is sure to bring only disappointment. Yeah, let me ask you guys, anybody, if you guys watching this or, you know, on playback, drop a comment below. Have you guys met your heroes? You know? I'm lucky enough that I've met most of my heroes. And they were all cool. Pretty awesome. All right. But yeah, there is a saying, don't meet your heroes. But the friendship between Eddie Van Halen and Eric Clapton reveals another useful proverb about heroes. Never piss them off. They might tell you what they really think of you. Although he's an icon to millions of guitarists today, Eddie Van Halen was relatively unknown when Jazz Obrecht, my cousin, interviewed him for Guitar Player's November 1978 issue. Van Halen, the self-titled debut album from his band, had come out the previous February. But no one had interviewed the guitarist before Obrecht, who delivered essential insights into Eddie's background, techniques, and musical influences. Yeah, I loved these interviews. I read all these interviews growing up. Among the first things the public ever learned about Eddie Van Halen was the key influence behind his furiously fast technique, precise but melodic electric guitar work. I'd say the main one, believe it or not, was Eric Clapton. I mean, I know I don't sound like him. It was a surprising revelation, given that his style was much more raw and aggressive, as well as technical, more like Hendrix or Blackmore, Obrecht suggested. Yeah, I know, Eddie replied. I don't know why, because Hendrix I like, but I was never into him like I was Clapton. And Clapton, man, I know every fucking solo he ever played, note for note. Still to this day. Man, I remember this interview. This is so cool. I used to sit down and learn that stuff note for note off the record. The live stuff like Spoonful or I'm So Glad Live. All that stuff. And Van Halen actually did play I'm So Glad live during the Usfest. I think during the Diver Down tour. Because technically Usfest was the Diver Down tour. Lewis, was that when he and Brian May did a tribute song for him? They did a song called Blues Breaker on the Starfleet project. And supposedly when Clapton heard that, he didn't think it was very good. That's the rumor, I guess. As Van Halen's fame grew, Eddie and Clapton eventually crossed paths, hung out and formed a friendly relationship, although there seemed to be not a drop of blues in Eddie's highly technical shred guitar work. Clapton, who by this point was deeply wedded to the blues and Fender Stratocasters, suggested there was something innate about the younger guitarist's sensibilities. If Eddie Van Halen likes the way I play, then assumably he must like what I liked, he told Guitar Player in our July 1985 issue. Who, Clapton did? Because the July 85... Oh, I'm thinking Guitar World. Because Edward was on the cover of Guitar World July 85. That's the Steve Rosen interview. But this is Guitar Player. Okay, this is something Clapton had said. But if he can recognize all of that and still does what he does, then we have to accept that he's on to something and we're not really clear about. Because he couldn't be doing what he does and recognize Robert Johnson without there being something valid going on. It was high praise and an affirmation from an older established guitar hero that Eddie's transformational shred guitar work was rooted in the same bedrock from which Clapton's own muscular and fluid melodic blues rock style came. He is very fast, and to my ears, a lot of the time he kind of goes over the top, Clapton continued. But that's because I'm a more simple player. Maybe I would play like that if I had the technique. I've heard that he slowed down records of mine to learn the solos. That's dedication. I don't know quite how to respond to that. Clapton's comments might seem like a wholehearted endorsement of Van Halen and his devotion to the blues, but below the surface, Clapton was harboring profound doubts about Eddie's understanding of the genre. Roughly 2 years earlier, he had been incensed after hearing a tribute song on Brian May's 1983 Starfleet Project mini-album titled Bluesbreaker. The nearly 13-minute track featured May and Van Halen going to town on a medium-tempo blues workout, and it was tagged dedicated to EC. There's the track right there. Clapton wasn't at all pleased by what he heard. While he held his tongue when speaking with Guitar Player in 1985, he vented his feelings when interviewed by Musician magazine shortly after in 1986. It was so horrible that they dedicated it to me, he said. They sent me a copy and I put it on expecting something, and I was almost insulted that they should send this to me because they can't play. Oh my gosh. They took turns to play solos and just went head at it and everything. with everything they knew. And there was no dynamics, no build-up, no sensitivity. I was very disappointed. The thing is, he added, if Van Halen wants to play blues, he has to look at it as a style. It's got rules. It's like Japanese kabuki theater or something. It's got certain things which you do and other things which you don't do. More personal, however, his comments about Eddie's obsession with his music. Contrary to his earlier statements to guitar player, Clapton felt that despite studying his work so closely, Eddie had somehow never grasped the essence of the music from which Clapton himself drew. Eddie Van Halen went over the top, he said. It's crazy for him to have learned that much from me. I mean, he could have just been aware of what I was doing and then said, oh yeah, well that's a bit like Buddy Guy, or that's a bit like so-and-so. Put it all in perspective to get obsessive about one person. If he was that turned into me and missed that point, then he missed the whole point. Harsh as Clapton's comments were, what tends to get overlooked were his negative appraisals of his own youthful attitude towards blues stated elsewhere in the interview. He cited the ignorance of Sonny Boy Williamson's blues back when Clapton was a member of the Yardbirds. Clapton said he thought every 12-bar blues was the same. But every 12-bar blues is different, he told musician. Sonny Boy Williamson would have an intro on certain songs. If you didn't know that, then he would be disgusted with you. And I know this from experience because he was disgusted with me because that was my attitude. Sonny Boy Williamson performing on British TV in 1964. He toured with the Yardbirds in 1964 when Clapton was their guitarist. Oh, wow. Taken out of context, Clapton's comments are a critique on what guitarists tend to get wrong about playing the blues when they've spoken from the experience of someone who made the same mistakes. Clapton was playing the mentor, trying to help his students avoid his errors. The full extent of his I can't even read that, was missed if you focus solely on his comment about Bluesbreaker. Eddie did. He was hurt, but he still hoped to remain friends with Clapton. Some years after, at a party in New York City, Eddie attempted to patch things up. He was reportedly drunk. Clapton, newly sober, came off as dismissive. Eddie was furious. Forget that teabag, he said. That ball sack. Eddie was still hurt. A few years later, when he sat down for an interview conducted by Dweezil Zappa in Guitar Player's March 95 issue, nearly 20 years after he praised Clapton in our pages, Eddie offered a new assessment of his guitar hero. I remember this interview too. I grew up on Clapton, but don't hate me, Eric. It's like he doesn't do that anymore. Now when he solos, to me, it's like he's pissing up a rope. Excuse my French. Listen to his early solos, all the cream stuff, like Sunshine of Your Love. Here Eddie played a fury of Clapton notes. That shit he does, he spoke when he played. And like Born Under a Bad Sign, the end of the solo was great. After having grown up on that, I thought every time I solo, I should make it like that too. Clapton might have agreed with some of that, including the part about pissing up a rope. At the end of his musician interview, he offered his own assessment of his soloing. I always overplayed. He said, whenever I listen back to the stuff, I'm always disappointed. I mean, I hate listening to cassettes of our shows. I listen sometimes and think I could have done 3 notes to those 10. Just halved it and made it more meaningful, but it's very difficult. It's very difficult. Clapton, Van Halen and Clapton might have built something from the small patch of common understanding. They never spoke again. This is written up by Christopher Scapelti, I think is how you pronounce his name. Very interesting. Yeah, that's the that's what Edward said in an interview one time. He said he went to a party, went to meet Clapton, but he was really nervous and he got drunk and he blew it. Very interesting stuff. Hey, Ian, what's up, dude? I see you in the chat. Good to see you. Scott Hawk, I see you. We got some comments we'll read. I remember Clapton being asked how it feels to be the best player, and he said he didn't know. Ask Prince. Is that true? Because I've seen another meme where somebody asked Paul McCartney what's it like to be the greatest, and he says, I don't know, ask Van Halen. Which I think a lot of these memes are just made up, for Facebook. I don't think they're real. Very interesting indeed, Keith H. says. Channel member. Good to see you, man. Lewis is saying, I still have Cream Live in Germany album that I've had since the early 80s. Cool, dude. Very nice. Yeah, I mean, I grew up, as you guys know, I grew up on Van Halen. I wanted to be Van Halen. And then eventually it's like, nah, I'd rather be myself. I'd rather, mix it up and do whatever that is and just take influences from here and there and just do your own thing. That's really what it's all about, is being you, doing your own thing. But, I grew up on Van Halen. And so in these interviews, when Van Halen would say, hey, I grew up on Clapton, blah, 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 blah. I remember I went out and I bought a Clapton album. And this would have been 1987 or 88. So the Clapton album that I bought was his newest one. And it would have been the one that had the album from that Paul Newman movie. Do you guys remember that? I think it's called It's in the Way That You Use It. There was a Paul Newman, Tom Cruise movie. I think it was called, is it called The Color of Money? Do you guys remember that? B9, I see you. I see you, man. Your comments are on the screen. We have it now where comments are on the screen, so we see you guys. Right? Did you guys? I never saw that movie. I just remember the music video. So anyway, I liked that song. I remember I listened to the rest of it, but it didn't sound like Van Halen to me. So it was just kind of like, nah. Although if I was to listen to that album today, I would look at it differently, and it would be a different. Actually, is Janice in here? Can you send me a tweet? Remind me to look up the Eric Clapton album. What's that Clapton called? What's that album called? It's the one with that song from that movie. I would actually like to listen to that. I'm going to have to look that up. Okay. Anyway, I do remember listening, anything Edward would say that he listened to, we would go out and get, So when Edward Van Halen would say, I listened to Peter Gabriel's So record, went out and got it. I mean, it's a great record, it's cool. He says, I listened to Tori Amos. Oh, yeah, listen to it. But then you listen to this stuff and you realize none of it sounds like Van Halen at all. And that's what's cool, is to listen to stuff. I mean, you guys, I listen to stuff that inspires me, and it sounds nothing like the stuff that I do. Thank you, Janice. Thank you. I just got your tweet. Most of the music that I listen to doesn't even have a guitar in it. I listen to mostly synthesizer, stuff. There you are, Janice. I see you. Let's see. B9, let's check out some of your comments. Let me scroll up. Oh, wow. Yeah, you left a lot of comments. Dave and his brother, Rare, are both very tall guys. Oh, the Davies. Guys, you can't tell when you see them on television. They're 6 foot plus. That's cool, man. I even got their guitar tech's autographs. I had them signed backstage pass because I didn't pull the stacking off the pick. I've since given them to your nephew because your nephew collects that kind of stuff, and he has a pretty good size collection of autographs. Cool, dude. You met Roger Daltrey and John Entwistle? The whole Kinks band and the guitar techs also met John Butcher and Ben Orr. Hung out with the lead singer's wife of the lead singers. That's cool, dude. Let's see. AKM20 is saying, as much as I love the three of them, neither Eddie nor Brian are blues players. They're strictly rock guitarists, just like Clapton on his bluesy stuff. I mean, if Clapton thought what they were doing didn't sound like the real blues, I mean, that's fine. I mean, it's whatever. But see, everybody has their own version of a genre. I mean, not everybody is going to play everything exactly the same. Not everybody is going to be influenced the same way, even by the same musicians. Like, you can take, I don't know, like I might pick something totally different from somebody and go in a totally different direction with the way that I take that inspiration. Hopefully that makes sense. CC is saying, enjoy lots of other music, though, but as inspiration goes, it's subjective. Yeah, so. Right on, dudes. Cool. Yeah, it's in the way that you use it, The Color of Money. Yeah, that's what I thought. I've never seen the movie. Maybe I should watch the movie. I mean, if it's free on YouTube, I'll watch it. I thought that was a good song. I mean, I can hear it right now. That's a good tune. I'd like to hear the rest of that album too, but all right. So we're about 43 minutes into this. Adam Roach, what's going on, dude? Good to see you. Do you guys like these earlier episodes? I know it's better for some of you guys that are further away because it's probably like early evening where you guys are. Well, Adam, what time is it where you are, man? You're like in Australia or something, right? It's like next week over there right now. Huh? It's about 10:14 a.m. out here in Santa Cruz, California. I'm just now having my coffee, as you can see. Actually, I'm having coffee and LaCroix sparkling water. Can't really have coffee while you're trying to talk. It's 3 a.m. in Melbourne, Australia right now. Dude, did you just happen to wake up? Are you awake at 3 a.m.? Or have you been awake? Have you been awake or did you wake up? Or did you get the alert for this video and wake up? Did I wake you up? Adam, we got to do a show together, man, sometime. We got to do an episode. But the time difference is insane. Because look at this. It's 3 a.m. where you are. It's 10 a.m. here. But your 3 a.m. is like tomorrow, right? What time is it where you are? Or it's June. What is it? It's Thursday here. I'm assuming for you it's 3 a.m. Friday. right? Bay Area Rich is saying Joe Satriani, Slow Down Blues. Gotta check that out. No, you woke me up. I woke him up. Sorry. 3 a.m. I'll have to wait till at least noon to be doing that. 3:15 a.m. Friday. Yeah, so it's Friday morning where you are. Cool. That's bizarre, man. I mean that's so wild that you're a whole day ahead of us. Right? You're more than a whole day ahead. No, you're a whole day ahead. Little less. Because if it's 10 a.m. California time, Thursday, 3 a.m. Friday. Wait, I still have to go like my whole day and then go to sleep, and then it'll be 3 a.m. Friday. So you're like a day and a half ahead of me. Or something. Does anybody really know what time it is? Does anybody care? Ian is saying. Wait, is that Pink Floyd? Catching up on world news. There's a lot of world news out there, man. What's most important, though, and I think you'll agree, is that there's going to be an expanded edition of Balance. I think that's what's most important. Looking forward to that. That'll be cool. Let's see. Lewis is saying, I have one of those flimsy records that came out inside of Guitar World magazine. I think it was Guitar Player. It's Joe Satriani's Flying in a Blue Dream. Remember those? Yeah. You had to put like a coin on the record, right? That was Guitar Player. When I first moved to Berkeley, California, 30-something years ago, I forget where I saw this. It must have been, there was no internet then. How did I see it? Maybe some newspaper or something. Somebody was giving away a whole box of Guitar Player magazines. And they're like, I'm going to leave them on my porch, so just come and pick them up. And so that's what I did. Sorry, I'm drinking sparkling water at 10 in the morning. So anyway, I had this whole box of Guitar Player magazines. Actually, I still have a bunch of them. Some of them may have had the records in them, but I do remember those records. They were very cool. That's Chicago? Chicago Transit Authority is that song? Cool. I don't know if I've heard that. No, maybe I have heard that. I'm going to have to listen. Janice, can you send me an X reminding me to look up Chicago Transit? All right, you guys. Guess what? I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you so much for hanging out. I wish I could hang out all day. One of these days we will. We'll just hang out all day long. Channel members, thank you so much for your continued support for this channel and these shows. Thank you so much. I know there's a couple names I need to add to that, a couple names I need to take away. It's all good. We'll do that. We'll do that soon. And I gave away some guitar picks. Thank you again to Bay Area Rich. He had sent in these no, he actually handed these to me. These attack picks. And he's going to mail some more. So we'll be giving more away. Attack pick by Acoustic Attack. Very interesting. Keith H. Very interesting guitar picks. I tried them a couple days ago. Check my text messages? Okay. Okay. I mean, when you put your phone number on the screen, people are going to text you. I'm checking. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, I just read that. Dude, that's rock and roll, man. Thank you, Janice. Janice is texting me this stuff. Or tweeting. Thank you, Janice. You guys, Janice the intern. Mark's gas station. Mark, do you actually run a gas station? Are you actually there like right now, like pumping gas and cleaning windshields? Although I have a feeling that gas means something else. Smash that thumbs up, you guys. I see 10 thumbs ups. Smash that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're brand new to this stuff. Well, if you're brand new, you're probably not watching this far into the show. But that's why I say this at the beginning of the show. 13,500 is the next goal here on YouTube. So subscribe. Don't forget, tomorrow, Friday, this is a live premiere. So the video has already been recorded, but the chat will be live. Another episode of Exclusively Van Halen, the show and podcast. The Van Halen Kramer few knew about. That's a guitar Van Halen did own. Played it at 5150. We have the guitar. We're talking about it. We're going to show it to you next couple episodes. So tune in. Tune in tomorrow for that. I think tomorrow evening we'll be doing that. So thank you guys for watching. And yeah, check out our episode, the Balance Expanded Edition. Gear acquisition. Yeah, I know. That's Laz told me all about what that is. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I don't have that. I don't have that disease, luckily. But I know people that do. And it's, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Watch another video. Drop comments down below. How many people we got here? We got about 30 people here, it says. Drop comments down below. What do you think? Oh, here's a question for you. I probably should have said this at the top of the show. You really got me. The Kinks or Van Halen? Which version do you guys like? Hey, Justin, what's up, dude? Good to see you, man. We're just wrapping up. Drop a comment on playback. So once I hit the stop button, refresh, do the refresh, drop a comment below. The Kinks or Van Halen? Which version of You Really Got Me do you like? Or which one? You guys know what I'm trying to say. Drop the comment down below in the comment section. All right, you guys. We'll see you on the next show right here on what channel is this?
I just want to be like, how old are you?
Hey, it's Lori Tucker and
Johnny Beane,
and we're here at the forum and we're going to see
Sammy Hagar.
And you're watching Johnny Beane TV. Stay tuned.
Hi, this is Dweezil Zappa. You're watching Johnny Beane TV.
Props to you for the article. That was a cool article.
Oh, yeah.
And then props to you, Johnny, for this show. Appreciate you having us on the show. Just want to give you, that's awesome for what you're doing for Van Halen, all that, you know, chickens and all, you know.
Thank you so much for watching. Click on another video on the screen here. Drop your comments below. You really got me. Van Halen or the Kinks? Which one do you like? And I'll see you guys on the next episode of Exclusively Van Halen. I'll see you just on the next episode on the channel there. All right. See you guys later. Bye-bye.